Welcome to the Australian Grand Prix in Melbourne for what no doubt will be an intense day of racing. The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. Its combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners make it a tricky track when it comes to overtakes. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Anthony, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn one. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are three main things to worry about there, Crofty. Positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Albon, Max Verstappen and Hamilton, Magnussen, Grosjean, Ocon and Lance Stroll, Norris, Sainz, Sergio Perez and Ricciardo, Latifi, Russell, Daniel Kvyat and Antonio Giovinazzi. Raikkonen and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot today. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
That's a decent start. Good job. DRS is now enabled. Nice start. minutes. DRS now available. This is your final lap of the race. That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Another superb Australian Grand Prix comes to an end, and it's a thoroughly deserved victory. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. After an incredible day of racing, who was...
It's got to be Lando Norris, hasn't it? Smooth, confident and assured. I've got no doubt that he and his team are going to be over the moon with his performance today.
Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one. Welcome to the Bahrain International Circuit. Any moment now, our drivers will take to the track and the Bahrain Grand Prix will begin. There's no shortage of passing opportunities around the 3.36 miles of the Bahrain International Circuit, with the best at turn 1, of course, and then another soon into turn 4. 15 corners here, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, and we could see 1 or 2 flat spots into the tight left-hander of turn 10. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Alexander Albon put in a great lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Bottas, Hamilton, Charles Leclerc and Verstappen, Grosjean, Perez, Ocon and Carlos Sainz, Magnussen, Stroll, Daniel Ricciardo and Norris, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Pierre Gasly and George Russell. Latifi and Daniel Kvyat completes the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
moment. We're looking good so far. DRS is now available.
The drag reduction system.
Was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. We're leading our teammate by 1.7 seconds. This is your final lap of the race. Great job, you've done everything we wanted today.
A fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the deserts. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
Mercedes are on top form once again after a weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again. Some amazing talents out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your... It's race day and our drivers are all out on the grid performing their final checks before we get underway here at the Bahrain International Circuit. With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Charles Leclerc and Albon, Magnussen, Perez, Stroll and Carlos Sainz, Grosjean, Ocon, Daniel Ricciardo and Norris, Kvyat, Latifi, George Russell and Kimi Raikkonen. Gasly and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Okay. Okay, that's a good start. Keep it up. Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. Great work. That's a new fastest lap of the race. This is your final lap of the race. Fantastic. You've won the Grand Prix.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Well, it's nearly time to get today's Grand Prix underway. We've got a number of drivers in contention, but of course, only one can claim that coveted top step of the podium. A lap of Hanoi circuit then, 3.4 miles around the Vietnamese capital. A number of the 23 corners take their inspiration from other great circuits, hopefully creating plenty of passing opportunities. Anthony Davidson is with me once again to take you through today's action, and we have plenty of twists and turns to come over the next hour or so, I'm sure.
Obviously, Max Verstappen is feeling pretty good about his chances here, and I have to agree with him on that. It's a clean run down into turn one, and the car is completely underneath him. Honestly, I think he's going to be difficult to stop today. Besides that, of course, any kind of turn one incident could completely turn the race on its head. Let's keep our fingers crossed everyone can get through in one piece.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Bottas, Charles Leclerc and Albon, Stroll, Grosjean, Ocon and Sergio Perez, Magnussen, Sainz, Daniel Ricciardo and Norris, Raikkonen, Gasly, Daniel Kvyat and Antonio Giovinazzi. Latifi and George Russell ends our grid lineup. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Okay. the start was fine. Let's try and move forward. Okay, we've lost the position. That's us down a place. Is now enabled. Okay, let's try and take those places back.